Hello, Internet. Welcome back to our Magiclysm series. In the last episode, we packed up from our old base and we started hauling things over here. We've now hauled all these items to here, and I'm a little stuck because this generator seems to pulse every 5 to 10 seconds. And in order to haul these, we actually take about 2 full minutes in order to haul all of the items in this pile, which means that this generator can discharge like between like 12 and 20 times per movement, which means we would get hit a lot of times. So what I think we're going to do is split these. We're going to, we could just pick them up and carry them in sections up the stairs until we're full of volume and then head upstairs. That's not really a very quick way of doing this, so I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to break it down into smaller packages and then carry them, like haul them in smaller sections, if that makes sense, instead of picking them up all at one at a time. Actually, do we have any additional? We can wear the molly pack for storage, and it would give us more we could pick up at a time. We're going to be overburdened by the ammunition, which is very heavy, of course. And we'll just pick up as much as we can. Let's keep an eye on our stamina. We look fine. So we'll head up and we'll drop things off. We'll do this. This is not exciting, but this is, it needs to be done. Dog's been barking all day. I don't know what she's barking at. And I know my family members are trying to sleep, so it's a little not optimal. But, what can you do? It's a dog. Dogs, she wasn't like ours for a long time, so she's quite set in her ways. We didn't get to train her or anything, so she just barks and barks and barks, which is okay, I guess. I mean, she's a dog. That's what dogs do. They like to bark. Last episode we talked about my gaming habits, I guess, is what we talked about, which I'm sure was not super interesting. This did not take as long as I thought it would. That extra storage from the molly pack really helped. Obviously, we're not going to wear it while we're out and about, but it is nice to occasionally be able to pick up an additional pack. And if we can't repair the rucksack, we may go back to the molly pack as well, which would be pretty unfortunate. But if that's what needs to be done, that's what needs to be done. So let's sort this out. Oh, thought that would take much longer. Really, we only have a few piles here. We have the food, drink, and we have books. And this is food. This is the perishable food we picked up from the wild. 32 cracklins, all of which are cold, which is interesting because we're on day 34 of spring. Things don't really freeze anymore. I wouldn't expect them to be that cold either. Why don't we chug some cracklins, because who cares? And what do we want to do first? Like I said, is it nighttime again? Man, that took a long time to get our vehicle sorted and carry things over. I would really like to get a vehicle welding rig up and running. I think for now we're going to just dump our batteries in it. What cbms do we have? Internal climate control. I was going to say we could start consuming batteries and then recharging them, but with just the internal climate control, that's so not useful at the moment that we really don't need to worry about that. I want to see what it takes to install an autoclave in a vehicle. I have not done this before, so let's pick a tile where there's really nothing. Autoclave, nothing. It's probably because we have filled these tiles. Why don't we? I would also like to make this vehicle wider at some point. I'd prefer to have 3 interior tiles instead of 2. It helps to keep from making your vehicle too long. Obviously, that's a big ordeal that we're not going to do here because we would need to head to town to be near other vehicles for sources of frames and other metals that we would need. So I don't think that that's something we really can do right now. And again, would like to have a vehicle welder. But in order to make a vehicle welder, we're going to need a lot of heating elements, which again would require us to move to town in order to harvest ovens and things. So neither of those are particularly attainable at the moment. Really don't need battery charge. Let's see about setting up the item version of this autoclave. Auto, I assume there's one in this pile. No, just pouches. So they're in our car, I guess, which is fine. Of course, these are not sorted tiles either, so I have no idea where to look for things. We really need to organize our vehicle because we were just throwing things in here willy-nilly. Let's... I can't think of a good way to do this other than to pull literally every item out of the vehicle in order to sort them. So no autoclave there, no autoclave there. Check here, autoclave. Man, I can't type when I don't look at the keyboard and I have my fingers moving all around. Now don't pick anything up, please. Get items / autoclave. Yes, you can carry this. This is fine. It's very large. It's basically a giant pressure cooker. Let's go ahead and drop. We'll drop it near the fire because I don't know if I need light to work with this or not. We need to... Let's look at this. Heavy battery. Okay, we definitely have some heavy batteries. We want the disposable ones. Do we want the disposable ones? I don't know how much battery charge is required for the autoclave. It's... Someone said it was like 3,000 battery charge, and there's very few things that you actually can get 3,000 battery charge into, so it's got to be interchangeable. So it should save wherever it is in the cycle and allow us to change the battery out. It has to. And we will use the ones... Let's just use it. Who cares? We have so many disposables. We're never going to use them for anything. Reload the autoclave. You reload the autoclave. Great, 2,500. Useful for sterilizing CBMs, requires a massive amount of power, so standard batteries will not power it sufficiently. But when you say sufficiently, do you mean it's not going to save its progress? We're going to try. We're going to... Surely we have a sponge somewhere. I didn't think this through. Sponge... I forgot how much work goes into this. We're going to need a sponge. Pretty sure we picked one up. So we will look... Man, let's sort our vehicle because I'm not doing this. Let's sort everything and we're going to move it out here. Move everything out here. You didn't move. That's not everything. Everything. And then move it. Thank you. And then we're going to move these out as well. This time we only need to move the one. No. Is there nothing in here? So why isn't it showing up? Advanced inventory to our north. Okay. Move to our south. Move all this stuff. Great. And then over here we will also search for everything. And we will go out this side. And then we will haul everything over there. Great. Okay. Combine all the piles. This is horrible. It is not optimal. Combine all the piles. We're getting wet as well. I should have grabbed a telescopic umbrella because I'm sure we're already miserable. Minus 30. Umbrella. Great. Wield the umbrella. This will keep us from being too upset. Looking for the umbrella. We're already miserable, but that's okay. So for the moment, we want to put this stuff... We want the unsorted pile to be in the rear. So we'll go ahead and move... but we can't move everything. Because if we move everything, it won't fit. Will it stop moving when it's full? Do you really want to move all? No. Can you move some of it? We'll just hold down enter. And let it put in a crap ton of stuff. And then when we see it get full... Man, this is probably disorienting. Sorry if you have sensitivity to things blinking, because this is certainly taking a long time. Yeah, gaming preferences. I really don't know what to play these days. I did see someone on Discord was looking to put together a group for... Oh, what's that called? It's something... Shadowrun, right? Shadowrun. So we're going to mark this... Okay, those are those are the inside piles. So what we're going to do, we're going to add an unsorted pile. No, we're going to, add an unsorted pile. Here. Yes. And then everything else, I didn't save. You son of a bitch. Okay, we're going to add an unsorted pile here. Yes. Escape, yes. And then let's think about this. We want our food and drink to be separate enough that the piles don't overlap. So we'll put food up here and drink over here. Tools in the rear. Obviously batteries go here. And we need medicine, but if we put medicine up here, it will overlap with the food and drink piles. Okay, we'll go food. Food, apparently you can make a corpse pile. I didn't know you could make a corpse pile. That's interesting. We'll go drink. Yeah, here's fine. Yes. We'll go tools. So we'll go here. Yes. And we will go medicine. Drugs, actually, is what it's called. We'll put the drugs behind our seat there. And then we also want a book pile. Honestly, books and drugs can share the same space. That's fine. And then everything else is pretty miscellaneous. We'll put guns and ammo up here, I guess. Yes. We'll go mods as well. We'll put that here. Yes. And then we will put ammo there as well. Yes. Okay. Save changes. Sort everything. Taking a long time, which is probably to be expected. Let's make sure. Weapons and guns, great. Weapons and ammo, I mean. Food, okay. Is that an open jar of pickled meat? We should pick that up and take that with us. I remember opening that a long time ago and then never doing anything with it. In fact, we'll have a little snackaroo of some pickled meat. And then we will move all this stuff into the unsorted pile. I'm assuming it's still more than could fit. Okay, that's not right. Why? And there's a bunch of stuff left. We forgot to mark magazines. We'll go ahead and mark magazines as well. Magazines. Boom. Yes. Yes. We'll sort those out as well. Let's see. What do we have left? Clothing, of course. Mostly clothing. In fact, all of this. Why is a machete? I guess because we marked guns but not weapons. So we'll go weapons as well. We'll put that on that pile too. Yes. We're actually, we have much less storage capacity than I thought we did because we do have an awful lot of stuff. Let's move everything from this pile to this pile. And we'll just start, again, just holding things down until we get a sufficient volume in there to really sort everything out. Sorry about the blinking screen. I don't know how to do this really any other way. Wait a minute. Can we tab? No, we can't tab. So how can we select? I want to select the entire... That's sorting. I don't want it sorted. I want it... Shift tab. So in the inventory menu, if you press tab, it will select everything inside of that category. I suppose we could filter. No, we could. Can we select the category itself? We can't. Okay, we can filter food. No. Okay, I'm just going to hold the button down. Sorry. I'm sorry. Someone was trying to put together a Shadowrun campaign on Discord. I don't know how much that really interested me, but I do occasionally see people asking about like D&D campaigns and stuff, and I think it would be a lot of fun to play D&D again. I haven't really played D&D in like 5 or 6 years, and that was back when it was... No, what are we doing? Select, not pavement, I want the vehicle. There we go. That was back in 3.5 I played, so like, and I used to run campaigns in 3.5. I didn't have that much fun when I was playing D&D. I mostly enjoyed it when I could write everything, you know. We can just move all at this point. I really enjoy coming up with characters and background and, you know, the stories and creating the world and coming up with encounters and loot lists and that kind of stuff is a lot of fun to me, so I really enjoy that aspect of it. I don't know how much I enjoy playing D&D. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. If you're a DM, you probably understand, but most other people would be like, that's really dumb, it's a lot of work, and blah, 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 etc. But I really enjoy it. So we'll put our mutagen in CBMs. Why is there not a CBM? Bionics? Okay. I mean, it's weird that you call them bionics when they're literally called CBMs in the game. And I know that the B in CBM stands for bionic, but still. Okay, and I think that that's mostly everything sorted. And then this is our unsorted pile, which is primarily clothing, it looks like. But we're also going to look for batteries. Oh, those are disposable. We don't want to put those in our charger. How's our morale? Minus 25. So we fully sorted the vehicle. I was out here for a reason. I was looking for something, and I do not remember what it was. We did not have heating elements, so we couldn't do that. We were doing the autoclave. We need something. We need a sponge. Sponge would be in the tool pile. Sponge. Great. I don't think you need anything else. We need cleanser, but I think we definitely have some inside. We have soap. No. Detergent. Really? Maybe they don't count as tools? Soap? They don't count as tools. So we'll grab the soap. We're going to clean our CBMs. We're going to go ahead and grab... I think the surgical scalpel is by far the one I want the most. And the oh, come on. Where is it? The joint torsion ratchet. That's the one. And then we'll try to clean the power storage as well. In fact, we should try to clean all of them. The LED we don't need. We have other ones. Decimeter, finger pick, cranial flashlight. We have 3 sterile ones right here, so I don't think that that's really something we need to worry about. I think that'll do. That'll do it. Do we need a washboard for cleaning? We're going to go out into the forest and see if we can find a water source. I mean, there are swamps everywhere right here, so... although I imagine you actually can't do that in the dark, now that I think about it. And going out in the woods at night is really dangerous in Magiclysm, from what I've been told. But I don't believe in fear. So let's try activating our sponge. Can't see to do that. So I guess we'll read. I guess we'll read until daylight. It's 1:30 in the morning. We'll probably be tired by the time we really get there. Let's read. So we have a whole slew of new books. Let's first let's drop our CBM stuff because it's taking a lot of inventory space. We'll drop everything we need for the CBM installation. We may need a washboard, but we can craft one if we need to. And now we're going to look at our books. So I want to read Arms and Armor of Imperial China. In fact, we should honestly be reading all of them to get access to the recipes. But for the moment, I think we're just going to stick with the stuff that really appeals to me. We're going to look at the sewing books, things like that, because we do want to raise our tailoring in the near future. We do also want to continue raising our first aid, although that's not a priority at the moment. Raising mechanics is also pretty valuable. We'll pick that up. I do think we needed increased mechanics to repair the solar panels, if I remember right. Paramedics. Understood by beginners. Educational magazine for EMTs. Probably really nothing in there that we want right this second. We do need to read all these books at some point to get their recipes, but that's not a big deal. Armor smithing. I don't know what's in the glass blowing book. We'll try that. Historic weaponsmith, of course, we will read. I think that's plenty for the moment. How's our wood supply here? 12 planks. Really not very good. Really not very good. I don't want to gather wood right now, so we're going to just go with what we have, which, you know, we may run out, but that's okay. Go ahead and read. We'll just start churning through them and get a look at these recipes that we get. Oh, there's a bat in the wall here. Oh, I pressed the toggle memory tile button by mistake. Let's go previous messages. Fab to 10 requires Fab 5. Gives us black gunpowder crossbow, a Jian, Qiang. Don't hate me, I'm not from China. Conical helm, boiled leather, no. Boiled leather, no. Really not interested in the boiled leather stuff. Boiled leather horse barding with caparison. I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is, and I like horses and have been around horses a fair bit in my life, and I don't know what a caparison is. I don't know what that is. So let's see the sewing book. Is this capable? to be read. Tailoring to 3 we already have, I believe. Tailoring is 4. Let's read the other sewing book. Hopefully that one can take us up. I would love to get our tailoring up to around 8, so we could maybe repair some of this more advanced kit. A lot of recipes, most of which are just basic clothing, which are not super interesting to me. I'm also hoping one of these has the chitin recipes in it, because I would love to get us some chitin armor. Here we have the historical armor smithing book, which I believe gives us some of those chitin recipes. Actually, I don't think it would, because chitin is a fantasy thing. People didn't really make armor out of chitin, because there's just not anything large enough to really have chitin of, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, lots of steel also would be very good if we could get steel leg guards and things. They're actually an upgrade from the chitin. So if we could get some of the steel equipment, that would be nice as well. Of course, we need to forge, but this comes with the electric forge recipe, which we could then use to install on our vehicle, which means we would have infinite forging capabilities, which is very good. Glass blowing, fab to 7. I mean, basic glass stuff, which is not super interesting, but it would be nice. Like, I remember in the last playthrough in the Apartment Rat series, we were trying to find a glass flask so we could make yeast, so we would have an infinite source of bread. And we couldn't find one. And here we have the ability to craft one. So that's pretty interesting. None of them are exceptional. The hand mirror, I think, can be used on vehicles as a mirror. So it is interesting, and it's kind of nice to have those recipes, but I don't know that we need them. Historic Weaponsmith, of course, will give us access to many of the weapons. In the last game, I think we went with the Warhammer. I don't really remember. This game, we've kind of been bouncing back and forth between spears and like the machete and things. So I wouldn't hate getting my hands on like a nice reach weapon. I think the halberd is a reach weapon, although very slow. Lucerne hammer is a reach weapon. Actually, is the Lucerne hammer a reach weapon? I mean, I know they're very long in real life, but I don't know if they constitute. But it doesn't matter. And then we're going to read Clothing Designer's portfolio. How high does that take? Okay, it's getting dark enough in the room now that I can't actually see the keyboard. I'm going to flip on the old light bulb. Previous messages. Tailoring to 8. See, that's mostly what I'm looking for. We have a book now that can take our tailoring to 5, and then we have this book that can take us to 8. So, yes. And this gives us a lot of the advanced recipes, like the thermal electric gear, the flame-resistant gear. This has the chitinous armor in it, so that's good, because now we have access to that, although I don't think our fab is high enough to make... Oh, see, we don't even have access to it. Let's look at that recipe. Let's look at that book. Chitinous armor is brown, which means we don't have the skill required to learn that recipe from this book. I do wish they still showed up in your crafting menu. I wish it would show up and just say, like, oh, you don't have the skill for this. But that's okay, I guess. We can make the gauntlets and the boots, which I think we already have the gauntlets in, and we didn't make the boots because we had hooves, although now we don't have hooves. And we can wear footwear again. So we might make the chitin gear, but for now I think we just want to read what do we want to read? Tailoring to 3, tailoring to 6. I mean, I guess I'd rather raise mechanics, honestly, because we want to be able to repair those solar panels. It's not really a priority though, but neither is tailoring. Like, there's no skill right now that I feel like we absolutely have to raise this skill right this second. So I think mechanics is always a safe one to just level up when you're not really sure what to do. I mean, the same could be said about basically every skill in the game, but you know, we did have in the previous episodes, like a week ago, we were saying we do want a higher mechanic skill to work on our vehicle. Plus, I don't know what's required to install like the forge and stuff. So it's daylight. We're gonna head out to. We can drop a lot of these books. We will head out to try and clean our things, and we can turn off our amp goggles. Hopefully we don't need a washboard, although I'm beginning to suspect that I do. Activate the sponge. Great, you don't apparently need a washboard. So we're going to wash all of these if we can. Oh, we have to mend them as well. We might not have the skills to mend them. Infinite water, 18 cleanser. Do we really need all of this? Yes, I think we want all of this. So go ahead and wash all those. This is probably going to take a long time. It did not. Okay. So they're clean now. And the next step is to repair them. So why don't we stay by the daylight here, and we will check out what it takes to mend them. Mend requires 45 minutes. Tools that we have: first aid 4, mechanics 3, electronics 2. Great. I'm a little upset by the 45-minute part, but that's okay. Yeah, I'd love to play D&D again. I think, I mean, honestly, I'd rather run the game, but I also haven't run a game since, like 6 years ago, and that was 3.5, and I think they're on 5.0 at this point in D&D. And I don't know if I'd even enjoy it, and like, it's a time investment. I don't really have time to spend, 3 or 4 hours in one night playing D&D. And then if I did play, I would want to record it for YouTube, and some people might not be okay with that, and I don't have the virtual tabletops that they use these days. I don't have anything set up to run a game in D&D. I swear I just heard, like, I don't know, canine violence in the game. Maybe that was a zombie dying. I don't know what that sound was. We're going to eat some pickled meat, I guess. And we will drink as well. Is this the beverage pile? Looks like. We'll drink some of the old apple cider before it goes bad. And I don't think we want to sleep yet. I think we want to make use of the daylight. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. But we're going to try to mend the remainder of these before we go to bed, so that in the next episode we can jump right down to us installing more CBMs. Which is good. Actually, we should have trained our first aid, because our higher first aid skill would increase the chances of us successfully installing CBMs. So that's definitely something that we will be doing. Try to bump our first aid another level or 2 before we install these CBMs. So I know that this kind of stuff is when people kind of start checking out of the game. People start getting bored watching this, but I do feel that we need to sterilize them. Autoclave pouches. Pouch. I can't type. Pouch. Autoclave pouches. We only have 125. Oh no. I'm just kidding. That's more than we will ever need. How do we activate the pouch? Activate pouch. Put that in a pouch. Activate pouch. This is going to take forever. Activate pouch. Finger picks. Great. Activate pouch. Why? I don't understand. Didn't I just pack? Did I? Oh, I failed to properly prepare the CBM. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. Activate finger pick. Pouch. Okay. I wonder what skill that's based on. Fail to properly, but I have like first aid 4. You would think, I mean, we can waste pouches. We do have a lot of pouches, but I would rather just do it right. Let's stop doing this. What would that be? Surely that's a first aid skill check. I mean, what else? It wouldn't be mechanics, wouldn't be electronics. It has to be maybe survival, but surely it's first aid. It's got to be first aid. Why don't we sleep? Why don't we call the episode? How about that? We'll call the episode here. And I will sleep in between episodes, trying to sleep in between episodes because it takes so long. And then we will train our first aid, and then we'll see about packing, sterilizing, and installing these CPMs. And then while that's happening, maybe we'll go do some stuff with the vehicle or whatever. And like I said, I know this is where people tend to check out some of the menial kind of tedious stuff that you have to do in Cataclysm, but it is part of Cataclysm, and Cataclysm is wonderful, and you should just get over it and love it anyway. But that's going to do it. So for now, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, maybe consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. All those things really help me out, and I love to hear from the people watching these videos. And of course, I'll be back with more Cataclysm every single day of the week, and I will see you, viewer, in the next episode.